Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Chad here. It's been a long time since I've uploaded a video, but I've been kind of, personally invested in a recent, thing going on. Let me actually close out this for just a second to let y'all know that Ark, recently had a few sort of very community-dividing, posts, and I have a good amount of time in it. It's not the most by any means. I'm sure people have triple, quadruple, pentuple, etc. amounts of time in it, but I know enough to know the game. I've played it plenty. I've hit enough trees, hit enough rocks, bullet enough birds. But yeah, I'm gonna weigh in here. I'm gonna quickly just go over the information, try to lay it out so that if people are somewhat unsure about what's going on, they'll kind of have a good idea of it, and talk about their server decisions, Ark 2, etc. Because all those are kind of related to this. But let's go ahead and hop in here. So, starting off, we're going to go into some posts from the Wildcard studio. Let's actually start with, yeah, their Twitter. Oh, God. Oh, right, because I'm on Steam. So, Jeremy Steiglitz, I think. He's the sort of head honcho at Wildcard Studios. Co-founder of the company, creative director, all that kind of junk. So, an authority on the game. So, he states that the Unreal 5 tease a couple weeks back is referring to an in-the-works free upgrade remaster of Ark Survival Evolved in Unreal Engine 5. So, this is important. Free and January. Alright, so that's the first chronological post. And I'm sure it will all be normal from there. Roadmap, this is basically just saying Ark 2 is delayed. But this is the juicy stuff. Introducing Ark Survival Ascended. Oh boy, this is the thing we got. So, next generation, Unreal 5, Xbox, PC, PlayStation. So basically just everything but the Wii and the Switch. But yeah, they're planning to include all the maps. And you also get Ark 2 in this bundle. The Ultimate Value Bundle. $50. So I guess it's not free anymore. This was essentially on the 31st of March, I believe. Yes, 31st of March. So no longer free. You also need to buy passes for these. If this isn't like real anymore, but if it was, this one is like 100,000 times more useful than this one. They really like their Genesis content for some reason. But essentially, they have announced this. So you buy the Unreal upgrade, you get Ark 2, bish, bash, bosh, you're rolling gold. So, a week later, another adjustment. Now, it costs a little bit more, but you get all the DLC, but you don't get Ark 2. So, I guess they're now saying the free update is essentially free if $60 is free to you, which, I don't know about you guys, but at my job, that's at least like 4 hours of work after taxes to get it, so not exactly the freest. But there are people that this bundle would be good for, and I'll talk about that later. They pose the question, no longer a backwards compatible free update? They could have simplified this as yes. But they also, in this post, talk about, which I think was mentioned before, but they're ending the official Ark servers, 31st of August. So they're basically saying, you know, we're now supporting this new version. It's going to cost you $60, and that's kind of what you get if you want to be able to play on, well, official online servers anymore. Man, I lost my train of thought. Well, that's fine. Let's go on to our next sort of bit. So those are kind of the big highlights of, you know, this whole deal. Now, community response. Well, previous post, it wasn't ideal. People were, unfortunately for Studio Wildcard, people have memories that last longer than 2 months. So they remembered this. My God. A lot of people retweeted, liked it, all that junk. So they were quite into this. And that's a problem. Because when they posted this, people were like, hey, we remember the other thing. We remember the other update where you said it was free. Which, I'll get into my opinions later, but just want to kind of cover it. I'm sure you can already kind of guess where I'm going with this. But secondary community response, also very bad. People have not been happy in the comments. I would show more of them, but well, it's a fun time if you enjoy watching internet people argue. I'm not really that disposition. I would much rather just chill. So, not really my cup of tea. Alrighty, so those are the community responses. Let's talk a little bit about Ark and Wildcard Studios. They were essentially one of the few games that did well with early access. They came out very early on when things like Darkest Dungeon, Ark, I don't remember if Risk of Rain was an early access title, but essentially when there were actually good games coming out in early access. And they made a good amount of money. And they made tons of ports for different devices, phones, I don't know, trash cans, whatever. But they also made a sister company that created Atlas, which had some controversy, but we're not talking about Atlas right now. But essentially, it's enough to know that they've got some means, right? And in 2021, they were making 20 mil, so not bad at all. So they're not AAA by any means of the imagination, and I don't think they're a huge dev team even with like what they've made. But they aren't small fry, which is important to keep in mind when talking about this stuff. So, time to go into thoughts and opinions. Now, this is the most polarizing part of this whole deal. And unfortunately, the main man himself did it. If he had just had some random person, he could have thrown him under the bus. But instead, he posted it. So, the problem is the first post right here that announced the actual cost, like essentially said, this costs money now, was 2 months after this one. Now, the issue there is, well, that's 2 months of false advertising in which anybody that may have seen, hey, they're doing an upgrade to this, they're going to add stuff, they got major things they want to show us as part of this free upgrade. Well, shoot, now's a great time to get into Ark, I say, looking at this post. I purchase it. And then they announce they're actually shutting down Ark official servers, and this is going to cost you money now. This is essentially a massive amount of false advertising. And that's a big deal. Because, well, it's illegal. It's illegal, and you always need to be very careful when you announce, especially price point things about products that, or just any kind of things related to a product you're already selling, anything that could make a product more enticing, it's illegal to falsely advertise. If I was selling lemonade and I said, hey, you know, this lemonade ain't that great, but it's got crack in it. Well, if it didn't have crack in it, then the customers who are buying it would be getting a lot less out of it. So it's important to kind of make that distinction and know that this isn't just a oops teehee blunder. This was a 2 months of essentially false advertising, which obviously my opinion weighing in that, if you can't tell, is that's quite bad. It's a big mistake to make, which I don't think has much excuse. The reason being, Ark is actually great at community outreach. Studio Wildcard. They have done 356 of these gosh dang community crunches, and every single time I skip past them because I don't care about all the fan art and stuff, but they do. And they post it to the people, and it's very involved and active community. They're constantly doing all these holiday events and things like that. Like, they are very much a community outreach type people, which it's odd to me that a company with so much communication could have such a massive error in communication. Because this is a huge deal to just, I mean, a difference of, well, what? A difference for, gosh dang, let's stop that. I'm clicking all over the place. A difference for, yeah, 60 something dollars, or the previous for $50, my God, for a product is a very big oversight. So, off the bat, it's fairly immoral or extremely inept and also illegal. Whether or not they'll get punished, I'm not sure. You can sue for anything, at least in America, but whether things stick around in court, it's kind of a popularity contest. So, heading on to this new and improved deal, where you spend more money, but you get the DLCs that you definitely care about eventually. They're going to take a while to come out. And you don't get Ark 2. This, I think there's a very, well, this is like a tinfoil cap sort of deal thing, but I feel like there's a reason they're stopping the idea of trying to sell Ark 2 ahead of time. And, well, scrolling down, this is another reason I think it's a little spooky. So, we plan to support Ark Survival Ascended, so this is their remaster, where it's just going to be in Unreal 5. With content drops, which is, I think, just Twitch bullshit. Creatures, items, structures, and DLC. That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. And, well, it makes me wonder, since they're basically charging more for this product, and you're going to continue to sell more products for it, because, I mean, shoot, we've already seen what happens when they say something is free. It's not. So I 100% guarantee you those DLCs that they're going to add are also going to cost money. And I'm not against companies making money. That's fine. But I am against companies lying to their consumers. Especially when their lies bring in purchases. Now, why are they, while they have another game in development that they've already pushed back the date on, making more Ark? Like, they basically are banning the other servers, they're making more Ark. They're basically, well, I would say they're Todd Howarding the people, but this is a lot worse than what Todd Howard did. So, they're going pretty hard with it. And my assumption is, and this is kind of, we'll call this like the conspiracy corner right now. My assumption is they are not doing well in development of Ark 2. It's a different type of game, a different engine. If you don't know, they're basically kind of trying to make a Dark Souls-esque, or like a Souls-like, I think they call them, like Demon Souls, or man, no one's fucking played Demon Souls. But I'm old. But essentially, they're making a new type of game. They might be running out of money, they might not, but clearly they are doing some sort of grab, some sort of desperate thing, or they just be, you know, just working on making Ark 2. And this, I feel like they're coming back to their safety net, like the things they know make money. The problem is this is basically a big middle finger to anybody who, well, already owns basically all this content. And there is no, if you already own the game, you get a discount or anything. No. You're buying the whole game again. And then some. But that is, yeah, I think this is sort of like a slightly more desperate kind of grab for more money. since clearly they had some issues with the planning. This is all sort of stuff that doesn't it doesn't inspire confidence when you would essentially lie to a community and possible new consumers and pull these kind of rapid switches on this. I would be surprised if this is the last we saw of this and they were like, yeah, we're done putting our foot down, because this isn't well received. But there's a possibility that people let it slide. My concern is that if this does not go well, and if things are bad on the development of Ark 2, then we might not ever see it. But, well, for me personally, and for a lot of people in the community, you can't let someone just take advantage of you and then thank them for it. You kind of need to put your foot down a little bit, especially when they overstep. So, those are kind of my main opinions on it. Basically, immoral, bad for PR, bad for community trust, illegal, etc. But let's talk about who benefits from this, because there's a silver lining to every cloud. This is definitely a good deal for someone. Who that person is someone who's not played Ark before. If you have not tried Ark before, and you're for some reason watching this video, I would still wait till first quarter. I would wait till they release Extinction or at least Aberration. And I mean, if it's $60 and you've never played Ark, it's not a bad deal. Not a bad deal at all. And presumably they're going to be supporting it, so there's going to be new content added to this pack. The reason people are pissed isn't because this is a bad deal. It's because it's a bad deal if you already own all this content. If you already own Ark, and they're like, yeah, to get the facelift, you're also still going to need to spend $60. That's a kick in the teeth. A lot of remasters and stuff don't even... I mean, even like with Todd Howard and his releasing Skyrim 7 times, even then, like, they aren't that expensive. So, a bit of a cash grab. Hopefully we see them adjust the price point. Hopefully we see them... Because I'm not against upgrading Ark. Especially because we're probably not going to see Ark 2. So, I do want Ark 1 to be good. I've played a lot of it. I still like the game. And it could definitely use some optimization and a little freshening up. But I ain't going to give them $60. They have to have some sort of discount for people that already own all this content, because this is a lot of money invested to just sort of say toss it, because now we have, it's like people who buy the fucking iPhone 12 when they already have the iPhone 11 or some shit. Which people do that, but it's dumb. So that's kind of, sorry, I went back into opinions there, but it's a bit of a heated subject for me, which is why I made this video in the first place. But yes, if you haven't played Ark before, give it some time, keep an eye on it. If it seems like they're actually going to follow through with their promises and add more DLCs, creatures, etc. to this Ascended version, absolutely grab it. I really recommend waiting till at least Aberration. Aberration's got some really nice stuff in it. But yeah, that's about all the points I kind of wanted to go over. I'm sure I missed some stuff. But I don't want to ramble too much, so you all have a great rest of your day. Wait, why did that work? Ah, damn it.